being here. Love seeing all these great faces. Thank you. Sorry we're a little late. We had, and this is why I'm running. We have Ted Cruz coming. He's a few minutes away, but he had to hang around there because Chuck Schumer was holding him hostage on voting for this $40 billion package for Ukraine. They didn't even get to read the legislation, and Schumer was calling for a vote. So he's a little late, but he'll be here in a minute. And let me start by asking a little poll question. This is a time for polls. How many people here think our country's heading in the wrong direction? And how many here are worried that if we stay on this path, we're going to have a country that we don't recognize in the next couple of years, right? Town, the McGee Carpet Mill, and there was a hotel, one hotel, and I was a busboy in the McGee Hotel, and I hunted the first Monday after Thanksgiving, and I wrestled, and I played football in little towns like Shikellamy and Shikshitty and Selinsgrove and North Schuylkill. Does this all sound familiar to many of you? Yeah, this is Pennsylvania, right? This is Pennsylvania. And at North Schuylkill, I know how to say it. And if my dad was here, he would tell you that it was wrestling, not my grades, that got me into West Point. He'd tell you that. And I ended up wrestling there. I was the co-captain of the wrestling team, and I graduated from West Point, which opened my eyes to the world. It gave. All right, I like it. Who's from Army? I like it. And I went to the 82nd Airborne Division, and it wasn't just Afghanistan. It's a 40-year high in inflation that's killing working families. Right here in Pennsylvania, it's killing elders on fixed income. It's killing small businesses, and it's getting worse by the day. It's a war on energy by Joe Biden and Governor Wolf, a war on energy that's killing investment in our energy sector. We're blessed in Pennsylvania. If Pennsylvania were a country, we'd have the 4th largest natural gas reserves in the world. We just have to unlock it. Right here underneath our feet. We just have to unlock it, right? We looked at this Senate seat and we said, this is critical to the future of Pennsylvania, the Commonwealth I love, my family farm, my friends, my mom and dad, but it's also critical to the country. And so we need to do our part. And I've just spent 10 minutes telling you what a disaster our country is, and I believe it. I believe the stakes are so high, and I believe that the risk of not acting are so significant. We've got to fight back on the extremism we're seeing. We've got to fight back on the weakness and the wokeness. But let me tell you why I'm so optimistic. I am incredibly optimistic about America. Incredibly optimistic. And the reason is over and over again, this is our story in America. We've gotten to the edge of disaster and we pull ourselves back. We've gotten to the edge of disaster and we pull ourselves back. That's the American story. We've done it over and over again. And a lot of people in this audience are young, but some of them aren't so young. And they remember that about 43 years ago in 1979, there was a bunch of people sitting around here close by saying the country's a disaster. And it was, 1979. Remember? There was 30 people coming across the Yuma sector for asylum on a daily basis. Today we have 1,000. And the Border Patrol says that there's another 500 that go through parts that they can't even monitor. And you can see across the Rio Grande, the cartels literally sitting up in the hedgerow, watching as people come across the Rio Grande. And those people come into the country, and they're really pawns of the cartels. And they're exploited, the human exploitation, the drug trade. It's a terrible, terrible thing for the people involved. It's a terrible thing for our safety and security. More than half the people coming across the border today aren't even from Mexico or Central America. They're from Uzbekistan and places around the country, coming across our border, contributing to many of the challenges. We have to secure the border. And we have to secure the border for all of America. With all of you. And I feel privileged. Privileged to be on this journey. I would be privileged to be your senator. Tell your friends, take the signs. It's going to be a nail biter, but I'm going to win this thing with your help. God bless you. God bless Pennsylvania, and God bless America. Thank you so much. All right. I'm running. I am running, and this was a rally for me. But I want you to think of me a little bit as the warm-up band for the Rolling Stones. You know what I'm saying? Over and over again is the great Senator from Texas, Ted Cruz. Please welcome him.
God bless the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. What an incredible privilege to be here. I just came from Washington, D.C., and it is great to be back in America. I am here today with a word of hope, a word of encouragement, a word of exhortation. What's happening in Washington, this isn't normal. Look, we have the President of the United States shaking hands with somebody who isn't there. By the way, I have a theory on that. So that was Harvey. By the way, everyone under 40, you can Google it when you get home. I've got two simple messages for you today. Number one, America is in crisis. Listen, all of us know this. We see the chaos of Washington. At some level, you have to marvel at this Biden White House, that they managed to get everything wrong. Like just dumb luck. If they rolled dice, if they threw darts, you'd think by accident some policy would be right. But we got trillions in new spending, trillions in new debt. We've got inflation galloping. We have $5, $6, $7 a gallon gas. We have chaos at the southern border. Last year, 2 million people crossed illegally into this country. The highest rate in 62 years. We have insane COVID policies. And as bad as all the domestic record is, the foreign policy is even worse. I'm here today supporting my friend Dave McCormick. And let me tell you why. Let me tell you my philosophy in terms of what candidate to support. Listen, my philosophy is simple. I support the strongest conservative who can win. The objective is to win in November. If you can't win, God help you. It doesn't do any good. You need to be able to win, and I want someone that will stand and fight and defend conservative values. Yeah. Now, how do you figure that out? Listen, all of us in a Republican primary, we've seen over and over again that every candidate comes and beats their chests, and they say, I'm the most conservative man alive. They all claim, I'm conservative, I'm conservative. No, I'm more conservative. Just once, I'd love to see a Republican candidate stand up in a primary and say, I'm a moderate establishment squish. I stand for absolutely nothing. It would be refreshingly honest at least. But nobody says that. And by the way, they all pledge their love for Donald Trump. I love Donald Trump. No, I love Donald Trump more. No, I have Donald Trump tattooed on my rear end.
Let's see it.
I like you, but not that much. So as voters, how are we to figure it out? how are we to tell? And what I would say is look to a candidate's record. I've known Dave a long time. He grew up here in Pennsylvania. He grew up on a Christmas tree farm. That is a little storybook. He went and fought to defend this nation as an Army Ranger, fighting in Iraq to keep us safe. He was a businessman and a CEO in Pittsburgh, creating hundreds of jobs here in the state of Pennsylvania. He served in the federal government, in the Department of Treasury, in the Department of Commerce, standing up and fighting our enemies and standing up and resisting communist China. Schumer is out of a job. And I'll tell you this, in January, I'm looking forward to walking down the hallway in the Capitol alongside Dave. And we're going to bump into a little man wearing overalls, carrying a screwdriver, coming to change the sign on Nancy Pelosi's door. And Nancy is going to get on her broom. No, that's not right. That's not right. Nancy's going to get on her private jet, the USS Broom. She's going to fly back to California. Chuck Schumer is going to head back to New York. And then we're going to tell Joe Biden it's 2025, and he's just going to wander back to Delaware. Battle that matters, and I believe we will take this country back. I believe we will pull back from the brink. I believe Dave McCormick will fight for the men and women of Pennsylvania, and we will restore this shining city on a hill that is the United States of America. The next senator from the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, Dave McCormick.